Marcus Kane, one of the wealthiest men in the city, standing in his penthouse overlooking the skyline. He had everything: money, power, success. But none of it mattered because 7 years ago, he lost the one person who made his life worth living. Then, there was a knock at the door. Marcus wasn't expecting anyone. When he opened the door, his breath caught in his throat. There she was, Lena Reyes, the woman who had walked out of his life without a word. The woman he had loved and hated for leaving him. But this wasn't the Elena he remembered. Her once beautiful curls were now tangled and dull. Her clothes were worn, her hands rough from years of hard labor. And beside her stood a little boy, Jamal, clutching her leg with tired, fearful eyes. "Can I clean your house for food?" Elena whispered, her voice barely audible. Marcus's chest tightened. 7 years of anger, confusion, and heartache surged through him. 7 years, he said, his voice sharp with pain. 7 years, and now you show up asking to scrub my floors. Elena flinched but didn't back down. "I didn't come for me," she said softly. "I came for him." She placed a trembling hand on Jamal's shoulder. "He's hungry." Marcus looked at the boy, really looked at him. His small frame, his too thin arms, the way he clung to Elena like she was his only lifeline. Then Jamal spoke, his voice small but brave. "Auntie, I'm okay." But Marcus knew better. This child wasn't okay. And neither was Elena. Something inside Marcus shifted. The anger was still there, but now, there was something else. "Come in," he said, stepping aside. Elena hesitated, but Jamal's stomach growled loudly, breaking the tension. Without another word, Marcus led them inside. And just like that, Marcus Kane, the man who had built walls around his heart, let the woman who shattered it back into his life. But why did she leave? And what had happened to her all these years? The answers would change everything. Last we left off, Marcus had just invited Elena and little Jamal into his home. But the question still hung heavy in the air. Why did she leave? The answer would break his heart all over again. The kitchen smelled of warm bread and soup as Marcus set food before Jamal. The boy ate like he hadn't seen a real meal in weeks, because he probably hadn't. Elena sat stiffly, her fingers tracing the edge of the marble countertop. This wasn't how she'd imagined returning to Marcus' life. Broken, begging, with a child who wasn't hers to raise. Marcus slid a cup of coffee toward her. "Start talking." Elena took a shaky breath. "My brother got involved with dangerous people. The kind who don't take no for an answer." Marcus' knuckles whitened around his mug. "They wanted money. Your money. And they thought they could use me to get it." A tear slipped down her cheek. "When I refused, they gave me an ultimatum. Disappear, or they'd kill you." The air left Marcus' lungs. All these years, he'd thought she left because she didn't love him. Because she'd gotten bored. Because he wasn't enough. But the truth, she'd left to save him. Can you imagine loving someone so much you vanish from their life? Just to keep them breathing. Elena pulled Jamal closer as he drowsily leaned against her. "When my brother didn't make it, Jamal had no one. I found him hiding in an abandoned building, eating from trash cans." Marcus looked at the sleeping boy. His innocent face finally peaceful. This child had been through hell. Just like Elena. Marcus stood abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor. Elena flinched, bracing for anger. But when he spoke, his voice was raw with emotion. "You should have come to me. We could have fought them together." Elena shook her head. "You don't understand." "No, you don't understand." Marcus' voice cracked. "I spent 7 years thinking you didn't love me." The words hung between them, heavy with years of pain. Jamal stirred in his sleep, whimpering. Instantly both adults softened. Elena brushed his hair back gently. Marcus exhaled. The anger drained from his body. In that moment Marcus realized something. This wasn't just about the past anymore. It was about a little boy who needed safety, and a woman who'd sacrificed everything for love. The night had been long. Tears had been shed. Truths had shattered the walls around Marcus' heart. Now, as dawn painted gold across the penthouse, three souls stood at a crossroads. Marcus watched sunlight catch in Jamal's curls as the boy slept on his sofa. Really slept, for the first time in who knows how long. Elena stood by the window, her silhouette so fragile against the city skyline. "You're staying." Elena turned, eyes wide. "Marcus. Both of you." His voice left no room for argument. "This isn't a discussion." Elena's hands trembled. "You don't owe us anything. After everything This isn't about owing." Marcus crossed the room in 3 strides. That boy needs a home. You need safety. And His voice dropped to a whisper. "I need to stop waking up wondering where you are." A choked sob escaped Elena's lips. Marcus' phone buzzed. His lawyer's name flashed on screen. "It's done. The men who threatened Elena. They'll never touch her again." Elena gasped. "How did you?" "Money talks," Marcus said darkly. Then softer. "No one will hurt you ever again." 1 month later, Jamal laughed in the penthouse elevator, his arms full of new books. Elena wore Marcus' sweatshirt as she cooked breakfast, her smile easy. Marcus watched them both, his heart fuller than his bank account. When Jamal called him Uncle Marcus for the first time, the billionaire had to excuse himself to hide his tears. On the balcony at sunset, Elena leaned into Marcus' embrace. "I spent 7 years running to protect you," she murmured. He kissed her hair. "Now we spend 70 not running. Together." And so the woman who disappeared finally came home. The man who had everything found what truly mattered. And the little boy who had no one, well, he got the happiest ending of all. A family forged not by blood but by choice. By love. By the kind of courage that changes lives. Want more heartwarming stories? Like, subscribe and hit the bell. Comment below. Would you have taken them in?